He sat alone at the elegant restaurant table, fingers nervously tapping the stem of a water glass, eyes flicking to the entrance every few seconds, like a soldier expecting orders. Ethan Blake, a quiet auto mechanic who lived modestly in a small rented apartment above his garage, had never been to a place where napkins looked like swans and menus didn't have prices listed. His friend Mike insisted he try a proper blind date and promised him a surprise match. Ethan wasn't good at surprises or dating or anything that required polished shoes and confidence. But something in him, maybe loneliness, maybe hope, dragged him here. He smoothed his shirt again, rehearsing awkward greetings in his head, unaware life was about to twist itself into a story no one would believe. At 7:08 p.m., the door opened and she stepped in, not just walked, but glided, in a soft cream dress that looked like moonlight had agreed to become fabric. Her hair fell in gentle waves, her eyes scanning, searching, landing on him with a flicker of recognition. Or was it relief? Ethan felt his pulse spike. She approached, and for a heartbeat he forgot English. "Ethan?" she asked, voice quiet as snowfall. "Yes, yeah, that's me," he stammered, pulling out her chair so clumsily he nearly pulled it too far. She sat gracefully, studying him, that faint tremor of shyness dancing in her gaze. She was beautiful in a way that hurt. Not intimidating, just gentle, like someone carved from kindness. He wondered if fate finally felt sorry for him. The waiter poured water. She didn't open the menu, didn't even glance around. Instead, she watched him with a mysterious, almost emotional expression, like he was someone important. Ethan cleared his throat, trying to break the silence before it strangled him. "So, Mike set this up? I'm sorry if he, oversold me." She didn't laugh, but her lips curved like she wanted to, and something held it back. "No, I asked for this meeting," she whispered. "You don't know me." "But I know you." Ethan blinked, stomach dropping. That wasn't creepy, right? He searched his memory, no familiar spark. I'm sorry, have we met?" She shook her head. "Not exactly, but once you changed my whole life." He froze. This had officially crossed into either fate or very expensive prank territory. His mind scrambled, flipping through memories as if scanning an emotional library with missing labels. Gas station kindness? Highway help? Lost dog? He swallowed. "I think you've got the wrong guy. I'm not someone who changes lives." She looked at him with such softness, it almost broke something inside him. "You did," she insisted quietly. "Mine." Ethan's chest tightened. Confusion tangled with anxiety, like the universe was about to deliver a truth he wasn't prepared to hear. She picked up her glass, hands trembling ever so slightly. "I'm not here to date you," she breathed, eyes shimmering. "I'm here to say thank you before my courage disappears." The words hit harder than rejection. He felt heat rush up his neck. "Thank you? For what?" he whispered, terrified and curious. She glanced down, brushing a fingertip along the rim of her glass as though touching memories instead of glass. "A year ago," she began, voice fragile, "I stood on a bridge, ready to disappear, ready to end everything." Ethan's breath caught. The restaurant noise faded, replaced by a rushing silence like ocean waves in his ears. She continued, tears forming like dew. "I thought no one would care. And then you stopped. You didn't know me. And you told me that God sends storms not to drown us, but to cleanse the path ahead. You told me that sometimes strangers hold our last lifelines." Ethan's heart hammered, memories slamming into him. "The bridge." The pale girl crying. Him awkwardly offering clumsy comfort because no one else stopped. Because leaving would have felt like sin. He remembered the shaking in her shoulders, the fear, the desperation. "You came back," she whispered, voice breaking, "even after I told you to go. You waited 30 minutes in the rain just to make sure I walked away, not jumped." Ethan swallowed emotion like shattered glass. "I didn't know," he whispered. "I didn't know if you made it." She smiled, small, trembling, beautiful. "I made it! Because of you!" For a moment, neither breathed. Time paused, bowing to the sacredness of survival. "I tracked you down because I wanted to repay the universe," she whispered, wiping a tear. "To look you in the eyes and tell you your kindness saved a stranger. So you never doubt your worth again. Ethan stared at her, throat tight, soul trembling under the weight of meaning he didn't think he deserved. He wasn't a hero. He was just a guy who couldn't walk away from suffering. But to her, that moment was a lighthouse, a salvation, and suddenly he didn't feel small or ordinary. He felt seen, real, human in the most beautiful way. "Thank you," he whispered hoarsely, "for living. That's all I ever wanted." She reached into her bag and placed a small folded note on the table. "This helped me get through the darkest days," she murmured. "It deserved to be returned." Ethan unfolded it, his handwriting rain-smeared, shaky. "You matter. The world is better with you in it." He blinked rapidly, fighting emotion. She stood softly like sunlight rising. "Goodbye, Ethan." She turned, took one step. His instinct roared. Don't let her walk out like a memory. "Wait," he called, voice raw. She turned, tears glistening. "Is this truly goodbye?" She smiled sadly. "No, just thank you. Life still has chapters for both of us." As she walked away, every diner stared in stunned silence, watching a miracle disguised as a farewell. Ethan sat frozen, note trembling in his hand, reality settling like a warm storm in his chest. He came expecting romance. He received purpose. And somewhere deep inside, where doubt once lived, a quiet truth bloomed. Even ordinary hearts can save lives without ever knowing. In that moment, Ethan didn't feel alone. He felt powerful, not because he changed the world, but because he changed one world. And sometimes, that is everything. 3 months passed. 3 months where Ethan carried that night like a candle inside him, glowing warm in moments when the world felt heavy and ordinary. He returned to his quiet routines, fixing engines, wiping grease from his fingers, drinking cheap coffee from the corner diner. But something had changed. Every time he saw someone crying in a car or looking lost on a bench, he stopped. He couldn't walk past pain anymore, not after realizing how close a stranger can be to breaking. He didn't talk about it. He didn't boast. He just made kindness a habit, the way breathing becomes instinct. Yet sometimes, late at night, he'd catch himself replaying her voice, her trembling gratitude, and wonder if fate gives only one miracle, or if life can offer a second. It was a rainy Sunday, the kind where streets glisten and people hurry under umbrellas like colorless birds. Ethan stood at the bakery counter, clutching a paper bag with fresh bread, lost in thought. Then a soft voice behind him whispered, almost startled, "Ethan?" His heart stuttered. He turned, and there she was. Same gentle face, same light in her eyes, but now steadier, brighter, as though life had begun to nourish her instead of drain her. Her hair was pulled loosely into a ponytail, small raindrops sparkling like tiny stars. She wasn't wearing makeup, yet she looked more radiant than the night they met. Both froze, breath catching, the universe leaning in like an audience holding its breath. For a beat, they only stared, half smiling, half shocked. Then she laughed softly. "You again." Ethan swallowed, stunned and suddenly shy. "I told the universe I wouldn't chase fate," he murmured, voice gentle. "But I didn't say anything about fate chasing me back." She blushed, fingers brushing her sleeve nervously. "I moved to this neighborhood recently. Fresh start." She glanced down, then looked up with the most honest smile he'd ever seen. "I've been learning to live. Not just survive." Her eyes sparkled with quiet triumph. Ethan's chest tightened. Pride bloomed inside him for someone he barely knew, yet somehow felt deeply connected to. "I'm glad," he whispered. "You deserve that." An awkward silence settled, the kind that didn't hurt, just trembled with unspoken feelings. "I never got to tell you my name," she said softly. "I'm Lila." Ethan repeated it quietly, like a prayer. "Lila," she nodded, almost bashful. "I go to group therapy now. I volunteer at a women's shelter. I'm growing." His voice shook slightly. "You look alive," she laughed, brushing a stray tear. "I am." Then she lifted a small paper bag she held. "And today I'm learning selfish happiness. I came to buy pastries just for me." Ethan chuckled, amazed by the quiet courage in such simple words. Healing wasn't dramatic. It was choosing sweetness after bitterness. He hesitated, thumb brushing the edge of his bread bag. Would you maybe... Like company? For coffee, I mean. Not a date, just two humans not pretending to be strangers anymore. Her eyes softened, gratitude flickering beneath them. I would like that very much. They sat by the window, steam rising from mugs like warm breath in winter. Conversation flowed slowly at first, like a shy river, but soon stories unfolded, childhood memories, fears, silly dreams. She told him she paints now. He told her he fixes old radios on weekends just to hear forgotten music. She laughed at his greasy fingernails. He teased her about hoarding sketchbooks. There wasn't flirtation. Not yet. Just truth. Safe truth.